Welcome to the Board Squad podcast. My name is Anna. I'm here with my fellow boardies, Summer and Nicola. We're excited to have you guys all back with us. Today, we have a very exciting topic. We're talking about colorism. Before we get into colorism, we're going to talk about the colors on the charcuterie board.
And it's beautiful.
It is
We have
beautiful.
all the colors. So we have tomatoes, lox, which I've been loving, a brie
Yum.
cheese. We have a red wine infused cheddar cheese. There's also some Gouda meets Parm cheese. I love
Gouda
cheese.
who?
Gouda meets Parm. It's like a marriage. I did a take on the dried blood oranges. There's also two different types of Italian crackers, some salami,
Yum, Anna.
olives, and then there's pistachios, prosciuttos, and just yumminess on the board.
Yum.
Is that a
Pistachio.
fig jam?
That is a fig jam, and then I mixed it in with a raspberry jam. Just
I
to,
was going to
I
ask
know.
if you made that because
No.
Anna,
Raspberry and fig
Anna will make us
jam.
something in a minute.
I know. So
We're gonna
yes.
eat this.
I know. So that's our board today. Okay. So today we're talking about colorism.
Dun,
Now,
dun, dun.
I know this is a heavy topic. So
Yeah.
colorism was coined by Alice Walker, but I did not know that.
Me neither.
She's a Pulitzer Prize winning author, and she pretty much stated when there is preferential treatment given within a race, and the preference is towards that of the light-skinned individual, that is colorism.
Yep.
Now, in my life, I've seen so many examples of colorism. And the way I view the hierarchy of Black in my family is just Black is from the diaspora. So if you are from African descent, then you are Black. And it's no secret that I'm light-skinned and I have white people in my family. I have darker people in my family, but I've always identified as Black. So when I hear colorism and I think about the terms colorism, it really just is racism repackaged. That's how I see
sure.
it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not something that's just unique in the Black communities because
no.
other cultures also practice discrimination based on lighter skin, where you see darker skinned individuals working in fields or outdoor labor.
Yeah.
And then certain jobs are given to people who are lighter skinned. So it's not just within the Black community. It's a global cultural phenomenon, this
Yeah.
colorism. So I've seen it played out in my life and family and different roles. And, we'll get into like beauty standards later on. That'll be another question. But I just want to hear, what have you guys seen play out in terms of colorism in your life or in your children's life and your day-to-day existence?
You're going to take this one.
Yeah. So in our family and my current family makeup, my husband is a little lighter skinned. His mother really could pass for white, and actually didn't know, but until not that long ago, my daughter thought
She was white.
that his mother was white.
White passing. That's a thing.
Yes, passing is a thing
Yeah.
we can get into
Yeah.
later. But and in my and I was raised by a mother and father who are both darker skinned, and so I mean we have very little conversations about it in terms of colorism itself with the children, and maybe I should have more, mostly because in my life, I feel like I have always been judged by the lens of being from the African diaspora. And I don't feel like people outside of the diaspora really see us as different. I always think when I look at other cultures, I know Indian culture,
Yes.
Asian culture, it's very much a thing. But to me, when I look, I'm like, well, you're all, everyone is from this place. And I think the same of us. And I think that is the lens through which we are looked at. So, as far as I'm concerned, everyone in the diaspora is of color
Yes.
and is judged
That's
that way.
how I
We are
see it.
African American, and that is how we're judged. And that is basically how I raise my children.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to, how they look at themselves versus a white lens, that is the thing that I really try to emphasize in terms of just helping them both understand their own beauty.
Yeah.
But I try not to pit us against each other because, as you said, I feel that is racism within our community, and I don't really want to give any
Yes.
time to that as much as I can.
Yes.
Well, let me give some time. Let me give some time.
Give the time, Summer.
So it's interesting in the work dynamic. It's very obvious that having a more European centric face, being of a lighter tone skin, we can see that sometimes people get a little more grace.
Yes.
They might have an easier time finding success. And because I heard someone speak about just how sometimes when we're in our own cultures and races, we gravitate towards what looks more like us. So if white people are, the ones who can help give that success, they will be more likely to give that to people who they feel look closer to what they look like. And then you see that trickle down into our culture where people start to take on. There was some video where it was about a group of people in California, and they didn't want other people coming there. And it was very obvious that they were all fair.
Oh, like it's like the book, the Vanishing Half. It's like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you're like, and it was very clear that the people coming there were not.
Yeah.
And it's like, please don't come here.
Yeah.
And it's sad because some of that stuff is because they want to be successful. They want to hold on to that wealth. And
Yes.
and on some level, maybe, I don't know, they might think that our skin color brings us more wealth, yours does not. And so that kind of adds to the divide. I see the colorism in my daughter. The littlest one, when she first visited, she goes, "Oh, well, I look like your complexion." And her sister, who, by the way, I don't see a difference in their shade.
Yeah. It's maybe like if I
But she
like
sees it.
coffee.
But
She sees it. And so she goes, "Oh, she looks more
Yeah.
like our mom."
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them like, I said, "But you guys are the same complexion." But what was really more important about what she said is that she saw her sister's beautiful,
Right.
and she wasn't the beautiful one.
Yes. Yes.
And that's when we got rid of the blonde Barbies.
Yes. So, Summer, I feel that because that's how colorism, I feel, has showed up the most in my experiences. It's really, even as a little kid growing up in the 1980s, I remember seeing videos on TV of little black girls, and none of them looked like me. They were either white or they were like the solid gold dancer.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
With the braids. Like, those were the two. I was like the solid gold dancer or Diana Ross. Those were my two images. But I feel like colorism, it's really a double-edged sword for me as a light-skinned woman, because you have this thing that's happening, which is vestiges of racism.
Yes.
And then the beauty standards, which I really don't look like a white girl. Like my nose is broad, my butt is big, my hair is curly, I'm thick. I like it that way and I feel beautiful. But those are not the things that are considered beautiful.
Right.
Yes.
So
And here I am with
as
the
a
flat
standard.
butt.
Yeah. As
As
a
a
standard. Yeah.
Here I
And
am
you
with
are-
the flat butt.
Yes, yes.
I know. It's okay.
I know.
We're working
and so
on it, Summer.
in the things that we
Squats.
have done as a society, like from skin bleaching is the most obvious one.
Yes.
Skin bleaching, which is, terrible. But there's, cosmetic surgery for your nose, the contact lenses, the straightening of the hair. Which one of those are permissible? What do you guys think about all of that in our society?
It has to stop. You want to, when I danced a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember coming into the industry dancing, and then over the course of my career, as we got closer and closer to like the end of my career, I noticed the shift of what they wanted be more people who look ambiguous,
Yes.
and then they used the term exotic.
Yes.
And us chocolate girls knew that was not us. That was not what they were looking for. And so then you started to see a shift where you only started to see a fairer, a mixed, someone who looks less and less with the wider features, the larger
Yeah.
lips, the darker skin, the kinkier hair, you started to see a push away from that. And I wish that hadn't happened because
Yes.
you want to see a variety of it.
Yes.
And I'm calling y'all out. I need y'all to put some variety up in them darn music
Well, I
videos
think
and TV shows.
that's across the board too. Like
Yes.
of the,
Fashion me.
Beiging,
Yes.
of how they are representing color. And I think that is hard because, I think we are beautiful in all
All.
aspects of, of the diaspora. And so it is important, I think, to try to, push for that representation as much as we can where we can.
Because our children will
our children
grow up
wanna
seeing
see
it.
it.
And we are teaching them the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see color in our group. And when we
In
were
the board squad.
in the board squad,
Mhm.
I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't think about you as light skinned Anna or me as chocolate. Just don't. And it would be lovely if our children and other people didn't really hold on to that.
Yeah, that's what I hope for.
Yeah.
That's what I wish for. And
Yeah.
that also that to not be judged based on that as well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is that, to give value to everything and especially for little girls. Like I think that's so
Yes,
important.
I feel like, yeah, I think that's the double-edged sword. It's beauty.
Yes.
Lighter skin is attributed with being more beautiful still to this
Yes.
day. It's
In
been
our
Yeah,
society.
it's been like almost 50 years, I think, since Vanessa Williams won Miss
I
America.
know.
And like that image is still what people hold as what
I
a
mean-
light skinned Black girl. But we did have a woman win the crown with her natural hair.
Curly hair.
And I remember going into work the next day, and the doctor was Filipina, and I didn't watch the pageant, and she was like, "Yeah, I just think her hair was too big," and I was like, "How can her God-given hair be too big?"
Right. Is
I mean,
God
it's-
wrong?
I mean, it's the hair
No,
that's
he's
growing
not.
out
Right.
of her scalp. How
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
But I
how is that
also
wrong?
want us to
Yeah.
not be judgmental. I think there's a lot of
Yes.
judgment too around what people decide to do with their hair, their skin. And,
Yes.
and so, I think it's like being a mother. It's like, the decisions I'm making for me and what I like and what feels good to
Right.
me.
Mhm.
And so if you choose to be curly, I think that's amazing. If you choose to be straight, I think that's amazing. I think you choose to do the things that make you feel beautiful. And hopefully those things stem from what is truly in your heart and what makes you happy.
Yeah.
That is the wish.
Mhm.
But I know that is the debate that comes up a lot recently.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who shared with me that she's a fair skin. She's very
Yeah.
light skinned. And she was saying that she always had issues with girls, darker girls, skin girls attacking her.
yes,
And she felt
I think
that
that's
way.
a thing that happens.
and-
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the pendulum swings the other way.
It
We see
does.
that all the time with
Yes,
skin color
I
and
agree.
Yes.
ethnic identity.
Yes.
And the darker skin is more race consciousness. And I honestly think that's hurt some of the politicians lately. Even Barack Obama,
Yes.
he wasn't considered Black enough because I think his mom
Is white.
is white, and so he's biracial.
Yes.
So we see that play out even in
Well, that's
today's
a whole
society.
nother like level
Yeah,
of
biracial.
difficulty.
And just to get it, like,
Yes.
how do you even begin to scratch the surface of like finding resolution, like helping people to see no color?
Yeah.
It's. I'm sure it's not.
There's
cut
a
and
book.
dry.
There's books in
Yeah.
Harvard. I mean, there's lots of published
There's lots of
studies.
studies, but they
there's
haven't-
lots of
it
studies.
ain't-
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because at the end of the day, we're humans and we want to put things in a box, right?
We
We want to
do,
make it
we
easy
do.
for ourselves. So we're like, if I can just put this person in this box, then it's fine. But unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. And it's starting to work less and less that way, right? As we just all get to know each other and the world becomes smaller and smaller and we fall in love with whom we fall in love with. And so I
Yes.
think that's a thing that people just have to be more conscious of. Like,
Yeah.
stop having to put someone in a box, right?
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
in the box of brown people.
yes.
Yeah, and I think that if we, as a culture, as a group, African Americans, Black,
Yes.
stop doing that ourselves,
Yes.
like we stop it before it becomes a thing,
Yes.
then I think it'll help to control the narrative.
Yes. It's self-sabotaging
It
too.
is self-sabotaging.
I know.
1,000.
This is a good time. This is a good. I feel like we could go on
I mean,
and
this
on.
is like an hour-long
I know.
we
So
don't have the time.
there's a book that I love. We love a good book
Yes.
recommendation. I think Caste by Isabel
Yes, which we
Wilkerson.
love.
She breaks it down by caste, and I think that's really the that's the crux of what this gets at for us. So that was, that's been an amazing book. So I think we should do a part two.
We should do
Well,
a
we should do a part
two.
See,
two.
look
We
at
need
us.
a- I
I think
know.
we should do it. Okay, so
You know,
we're
maybe next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll come back for part 2. And thank you for joining us today. This important topic of colorism was very juicy conversation.
juicy.
And
Please remember to like and subscribe
Yeah.
to our Instagram, our YouTube, our TikTok at The Board Squad. We'll look forward to seeing you there and continuing more conversation there.
yes.
Awesome.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.